and it's February the 11th, Wednesday, Romans 10, 18 to 21. But I say, surely they have never heard, have they? Indeed they have. Their voice has gone out into all the earth, and their words to the ends of the world. But I say, surely Israel didn't know, did they? Well, at the first, Moses says, I will make you jealous by that which is not a nation. By a nation without understanding will I anger you. Isaiah is very bold and says, I was found by those who sought me not. I became manifest to those who did not ask for me. But as for Israel, he says, all the day long I have stretched out my hands to a disobedient and obstinate people. So some listened and others did not. It's been interesting to me how throughout the book of Romans, Paul quotes from the Old Testament over and over again. And quite honestly, I admit, sometimes I know exactly where he's coming from in the Old Testament. Sometimes I don't. But in this particular text, we see multiple passages, one from Moses, one from Isaiah. Paul is speaking specifically about the Jews in these verses, but the same applies to all generations and people. The Messiah has been preached. Some have listened and responded, but others have heard and rejected. We get to consider the passage from Isaiah 55, which is in the very sort of the end of this text. We get to consider Isaiah 55 this week that clearly points that God has made himself known and offered himself to his people, but they have not responded in faith. He then makes himself available to others, the Gentiles, to make his people jealous. And that's what he refers to in the Moses passage. I admit, I don't completely understand all of the details of the argument here. I can understand it. I understand that God offered himself to his people and they didn't respond and didn't receive and didn't accept. And so the Gentiles had the opportunity to have a relationship with God, which intentionally, as according to Paul in Romans, is to make God's people jealous. And so when we look at this, the point is a little, for me, it makes me laugh. It reminds me of children who say, it's mine, and you can't have it. Or they ignore the item, the thing, until someone else wants it. God's made himself available to the world. Who will believe and accept? That's not up to us. What's up to us is, who do we tell? Whew. We'll see you tomorrow.